Afternoon, everybody. So, something that some people can't seem to grasp when working with Queen Lilith is she expects you to take some risks. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, Lilith is there to empower. In a way, she's a savior, but in a way, not. Because Lilith herself chose exile in the unknown rather than subservience and submission, not knowing what was out there completely alone. So, if you're working with Lilith trying to get out of a bad situation, she's going to empower you to embrace free will, but it's going to require, you having the courage, the integrity, and the fortitude to set that major change in motion because, she'll be like, wait a minute, you have me, and I am very, very powerful. I was alone, so what are you waiting for? In other words, in, Lilithan witchcraft and philosophy, free will is everything. Timing is nothing. Timing means nothing to us. It's never the right time. You ask any witch. We don't believe in right place, right time. We bend the rules of chance via magic to create the outcome we want. A lot of us, especially on the left-hand path, have been screwed over and stabbed in the back and lied to and betrayed. It doesn't end well for people who, do it to us now, given knowing what we know. That's where not to get too off topic, but that's where the stereotype of the evil witch is. I've yet to meet anyone in this community, which I've been in for most of my life since I was a toddler, and the last 10 really, I guess unofficially the last 10 in the left-hand path. I was kind of drawn there. Never mind, story for another day. But anyway, I don't know any witches that are just like out to harm people. We're about vengeance and people being held accountable for actions they chose to do of their own free will. They can't just be like, oh, I didn't mean it. Forgiveness. Like, no, blood for blood. So, that kind of thing. So, when you're working with Lilith to get out of a bad situation, and again, I gotta be vague. I don't like being vague, but every situation is different. She's gonna empower you to make that change, whether that would be an awakening within your own inner strength, realizing that you don't need someone. As always, I'm gonna focus on with a narcissist because, it's my wheelhouse. It's kind of the things she expects me to do, help break narcissistic chains. See the scar? Yeah, that's my witch's mark. That's where they cut me to swear my oath. So, in that situation, a narcissist will make you think that you need them, that you're dependent on them, that you can't function without them. I know I say it all the time, but that's a common playbook across any type of narcissist, be it overt, covert, borderline, histrionic, what have you. The reality is you don't. And working with Lilith, given her independence, will teach you, particularly women, that you are perfectly capable of being on your own, of supporting yourself. And, Lilith will also, in fact, awaken you, be like, don't you, have friends and family that this jackass rarely lets you see? Like, didn't he, in essence, make you go low contact with the people that actually care about you because they're telling you to leave this jackass and you're always crying and he's toxic and it's never going to get any better, only going to get worse? But enough about my cup and work. That kind of thing. Lilith will pull that mask off of that narcissist. That, Lilith will help the person being manipulated and used by the narcissist see the narcissist for who they really are. And, then they'll be like, wait a minute, there might be something to this. And then you reconnect with people who you've been cut off from, who were saying the same, who you were cut off from because the narcissist is like, oh, it's them or me, and you can't function without me, and I'm the best thing that ever happened to you. Why? Because I say so. I'm me. Well, what the fuck does that mean? Well, I know what's best. You must trust me. Why? Why? What evidence have you given that you're doing anything but using this person? And how'd you get her? She's out of your league. Well, right place, right time. And you lied, didn't you? You lied. Well, all guys do that. A lot do. No. It's like, but you, it's like, who are you pretending to be? I'm sorry, my favorite. And I've been in this situation more than once, helping someone get out of a bad relationship. Like, this is usually like acquaintances, friends of friends, where the person, the narcissist, the character they were playing in the beginning was me. It's like, damn, that's just nuts. But that's the kind of thing Lilith will wake you up to, and you'll see it for what it really is. Now, you truly don't know how bad it is until you get away, but you'll get to the point where she'll empower you enough to be like, one, you have to leave, you know. Two, in case you didn't know, it's not going to get any better. And three, you are strong enough to be on your own. And four, you have people who actually care about you, you know, once you get away from this narcissist. And you probably have potential love interest that, you know, will actually give you what you want. But since you're cut off in narcissist world where your whole life revolves around serving the narcissist, because again, that's what Lilith got away from, you know. She was like, my whole life has to revolve around doing what Adam wants when he wants it. Or I can march out that gate, do what I want when I want, just can't come back into this garden. I know, what a decision. I know what I would pick. You know, hello, wait for me. So that's what you're going to be working with. That's, you know, you get into meditation, you speak Lilith. Maybe, you know, you can do some basic spells on your own, or have more skilled witches do spells for you. Like I said, you know, I do spells for people, but in full honesty, you know, I mean, there's dabblers, baby witches, beginners, intermediates, experts, and masters. I'm an intermediate, you know, and as a male, I'll never be a master. It's just how it works. But I do know one if, you know, you need some spells that are that badass. I can put you in contact with one. They ain't cheap. You know, that level of black magic is very draining. It's very involved, you know, and it takes years to master. But I do know someone who is capable of it. So that's the core of this. You have to be willing to take that chance. When Lilith awakens the empowerment and the truth in you, you then have to be able to act on it. If you simply sit there and be like, well, I know all, you know, I know what he is now. I know I don't need him. I know everybody else, what they've been saying is right, but I can't do anything about it because change bad, status quo good. Lilith can be like, well, the hell with you. You know, can't save slave girls. She doesn't actually say that. That's something we say. That's more of a witchcraft / narcissist abuse community term. And it basically means like people who know the truth but don't want to change because we don't really know. You know, that's a mystery in itself. We'll have to get into that another day. But you can't fear change when working with Lilith. And it's going to be positive change. She's going to push you to make changes, but those changes are going to be towards what you want. Now, she does test you. You know, you will be tested. There will be some times of difficulty. You will be expected to get through some rough times on your own. She'll never let you go completely over the edge. She'll push you to it, though, because you've got to find out where it is, see what you can handle, see how fast change can progress. But working with Lilith, change progresses fairly rapidly. She's, you know, all about drastic, positive change rather than small, incremental, almost unnoticeable change. One of the many reasons I love her. But you have to be prepared for that. You can't, like, just expect everything just to fall into place without you actively doing things to seek change. You know, Lilith and any other deities, they'll bend the rules of change to get you the outcome you want, just like when you do a spell, but you still have to put the work in. It's like if you're doing, you know, like a job spell, you know, because there's politics and nepotism involved and all that crap. So a job spell will better your chances of getting that job, but you still have to go into that interview prepared. If you show up to that interview unprepared and reeking of booze, you know, the magic's not going to overcome that. Or, you know, if you're seeking to be with someone, you got to make sure you're the best you can possibly be. You can't show up looking like a slob or, it could be any number of things. We're getting real subjective if we go down that road. But that's what you have to be aware of. Lilith empowers you to make changes. She will expect you to launch out into the unknown, to take those chances, to embrace that change. At certain points you'll know like where the end is, but the parts in between you kind of have to trust her to be like, yeah, it's going to be a little rocky for a few months, but if you're not willing to embrace that and go through that, then you can stay in this situation where you're essentially enchained and it's only going to get worse, kind of thing. So just be aware of that. But seek empowerment, seek vengeance on those who wronged you, seek free will,